this opportunity to thank you for life on the earth today. Lord, you say he that ruleth over man must be just. We pray now that you will add your blessings to this council meeting, to this council chambers. Help us to do what's right, not be concerned about who's right, but what is right. In Jesus' name, amen. Don't move. I'll second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. For approval of minutes of 5/25/16. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, got a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. Number 5 now, new business. A, South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice Memorandum of Agreement FY 2016-2017. Requires a motion measure.
I made that motion, Mr.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this agreement we approve every year. As most everybody knows, there's only technically one place in South Carolina that can house juveniles, and this is through the Department of Juvenile Justice in Columbia. So every county in South Carolina that I know of uses this same agreement that we've had, and I know we've used it for 15 or 20 years or longer. And y'all, some of y'all been in law enforcement. I know y'all have actually had to take individuals up there to use that facility. But it's a standard agreement. It's been the same amount for as long as I can remember. So it's $50. $50 a day.
We have a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement.
I make a motion to approve the juvenile justice memorandum agreement.
Yes, sir.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, we're down on 5B, Humane Society of Dillon, Mayor McDaniel, Sheriff McCall.
I'm Mary McDaniel, and I'm here representing the Humane Society of Dillon County today, and I do appreciate the privilege of coming before you to speak to you about conditions at the Dillon County Animal Shelter. I've volunteered at the Dillon County Animal Shelter for almost 5 years, and I have seen some very sad and difficult things. But I saw more last week than I'd ever seen before, and it pulled at my heartstrings very strongly. I walked into the building and I saw 4 nursing mothers with their puppies. A nursing mother, nursing all 4. I also saw a kennel with 7 dogs in it, not puppies. That increased to 9 dogs the next day. In that whole building, there were at least 3 dogs in each kennel. The puppies were filthy, the mothers were filthy, and the mothers looked up at me, imploring me to do something. And about that time, Terry McCall walked into the shelter, and we came straight up here. We came here, we took Clay Young, Winna Stanton, and Buzzy Finkley, who had the misfortune of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. We took all 3 of them back down to the shelter to see what we had seen, and they were appalled. They were appalled. We took them down to the shelter for them to see the problem and to try to get them, to get the county to open the building, which has been under construction in the back for over 2 years, or at least in the planning stage for 2 years. They agreed that emergency measures needed to be taken. So we came back up here, and Ms. Stanton got all of the plans. She looked on the internet, looked at Agro Supply, and she ordered 6 emergency kennels immediately that afternoon and had them delivered to the Dillon County Animal Shelter. And we left this office feeling like we had actually accomplished something. We were very optimistic and thought all weekend that at least those nursing mothers would be in a better place. Little did we know that all hell would break loose on Friday. One of the nursing mothers had a very good rescue. And the rescue driver came to the shelter, got the puppies and Belinda, and loaded them in her car. And before she got out of Dillon County, they were dying. They apparently they took them to the vet, and the puppies were heavily infested with hookworms. These hookworms were transferred from Belinda to her puppies in utero. When Belinda was brought into the shelter, she should have received a dewormer, and apparently she did. And so these puppies were at the point of death. The rescue told me if they had known this situation, they would still have taken the puppies, but they would have been more prepared to deal with it. Instead, they had to take the puppies to an emergency vet and pay what emergency room prices are. Today, only 2 of the 8 puppies are living. This situation with Belinda has created a firestorm with all of the other rescues that support the shelter. Other rescues have come forward with horror stories about sick, diseased, and dirty animals that they have rescued from the Dillon shelter. And this has seriously damaged the dogs and cats too. Chances of the ones that are left at the shelter of ever being rescued or adopted. All of this has played out on Facebook. And if some of you know Facebook, sometimes it's a very evil place where a lot of people put opinions that are not correct, but it turned out to be a very bad situation. It's very easy, it would be very easy for me to place the blame for the deplorable conditions of the Dillon County Animal Shelter on one person. I can't do that. I cannot do that. I could blame Douglas. And Douglas has really, really helped me a lot of times. If those of you who know where I live, you probably know animals are dumped out in the country all the time. And Douglas has never turned me down for help. And I do appreciate that. But Douglas has been absent from the shelter some. And that has created a problem because the people who work there have no leadership skills. And I think that that's probably one of the reasons that it was in such dire circumstances the day that I saw it. Some would blame you, County Council, for not properly funding the shelter, not providing the manpower that is needed to run the shelter adequately. Some would blame the inmates who don't clean properly. But they're inmates, they really don't have much of a work ethic. They're already in jail. Some would blame the part-time minimum wage front office employees, but they don't even have benefits with their job. We can blame all of them, but we also have to blame ourselves. I blame myself for not raising hell a lot earlier. I've been there a long time. I've seen things. I should have been up here a long time ago. I should have done this a long time ago. But the sad fact is that all the citizens of Dillon County have turned a blind eye to the plight of the animals at the Dillon County Animal Shelter. And it's easy to do. It's easy just to pretend it's not a problem. One of my friends has said that no matter what the improvements we do at the shelter, we're always just going to be chasing our own tails if we don't have a strong spay-neuter program in place. And that is true. We have tried with the Humane Society to have a spay-neuter program, a low-income spay-neuter program, but it has not been very successful. I gave out 10 applications for free procedures at the Carolina polling place last Tuesday on Election Day. Not one has come back to me filled out asking for a spay or neuter. So, and we can't ask for that this afternoon. There's also the problem of the mentality of the Dillon County citizens who think it's all right to dump dogs and cats at the Dillon County shelter. It's not all right. One of the employees told me that she was called to a very well-maintained farm 2 weeks ago, and they wanted her to pick up two dogs who were family pets. They were in the way. She saw well-maintained kennels. She saw where these dogs had been living, but these dogs now were in the way, and they wanted to be rid of them. One of the dogs was Belinda, who was pregnant. Another dog was Sonny, a 10-year-old hound who is heartworm positive, who now sits in a cage at the back of the shelter, dying a very slow, painful death from heartworms. He got adopted. Somebody took him? Well, miracles happen. Miracles happen. Happened right then. But, well, that makes me lose my place. Sonny's not there anymore. But
when I was leaving, they was getting them, so that's something that's shut.
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Another one of the dogs that I saw at the shelter the day that I was looking at the nursing dogs was Sarah Lee. Sarah Lee, if you look at Facebook, Sarah Lee's a beautiful black lab. And she was the nurse. She had cute little puppies. I'll be taking Sarah Lee to a wonderful rescue at Pawleys Island on Friday. All 4 positive. One of the best rescues in the state of South Carolina. Sadly, she'll be making the trip alone. All of her puppies are dead. Because of the crowded chaos and confusion of the shelter, Sarah Lee lay down on her puppies and killed them all. It happens. The idea of moving the puppies into the new building, moving the dogs and the puppies into the new building was just wishful thinking on my part and Terry's part. It didn't happen. It didn't happen because the shelter lacks the manpower to do that. They have 2 inmates right now. Is that still right? 2 inmates. And the morning that I was there so upset about the new building not being ready, there was only 1 inmate there, and he was desperately trying to clean up. It's impossible. It's impossible for the staff to make it a better place when they're so short-handed. Another indication of the thinking of the people in Dillon County, they told me that Friday morning, 5 dogs and a cat came into the shelter before 9:30 a.m. One of the dogs was dumped in a crate at the gate and left there, waiting for the staff to come to work that morning. It happened again on Monday morning. Another 5 dogs were dumped at the shelter before 10 o'clock. People think it's all right to do that. It is not. It is not. So, what good does it do to talk about the mentality of the people in Dillon County and how they mistreat dogs and cats? Doesn't do any good. What we have to do is to try to humanely take care of these animals as best we can. And here are some of our proposals, and you'll hear more from Terry McCall. Our first proposal is to implement and furnish new building immediately. It is completely ridiculous that it has taken so long to do this. Presently, the shelter has only 2 inmates, as I said. They need more, and they need 4 or 5 at least. And they need some way to find inmates who actually do care for the animals. And some do, and some do. We propose that 2 additional employees be hired. These employees would help supervise the inmates. They would work hands-on with the animals. They would be hired to exercise the dogs, to make sure that the cats were taken care of, to supervise everything, and to clean the kennels and cages twice a day. This would greatly reduce the disease, depression, and the awful stench which has become the trademark of the Dillon County Animal Shelter. 2 of the 3 part-time minimum workers should be upgraded to full-time. I've been with them at adopt-a-thons on the weekend. I've seen them do transports, and they are not compensated for that. They are doing that out of the kindness of their own hearts, and they are part-time, minimum wage, no benefits. In order to increase adoptions and also to provide a place for exercise and for volunteers to exercise the dogs and for meet and greets for potential adoptees, we propose that you fence in the grassy area that is adjacent to the shelter. This would provide a wonderful place. It would, for the dogs to get some exercise. You could have cats out there at a point, although Terry's going to talk about a wonderful catio that's going to be good for them. But it would look good for the shelter, and right now there are very few volunteers who want to come out there. And we could get more volunteers to exercise the dogs if they didn't have to go into the awful place. As I have stated, we can blame others for the condition of the shelter. But instead of doing that, we can work together for the sake of the animals. I do feel that Dillon County is on the cusp of something good with all of the new industry coming into the county. We simply cannot allow the Dillon County Animal Shelter to remain in this deplorable condition. It has been said that a society is judged by how it treats its most vulnerable. And today we should hang our heads for how we are treating the cats and dogs at the Dillon County Animal Shelter. Hopefully you will see fit to fund the proposals that the Humane Society is recommending this afternoon. And together we can improve the situation that we are facing.
Thank you, Ms. Daniels, for bringing us this very important information. I don't think most of the council really were knowing what's going on now. That's the first time I've been there.
We opened your eyes, didn't we?
The other day, I was surprised. And I feel like the council in the near future will have a workshop with this to see what we financially be able to do.
I'm Terry McCall, and I'm the treasurer of the Humane Society, so I want to talk money. We are a very small organization with only 12 dues-paying members in the 2015-16 year. While we work both with dogs and cats at the animal shelter, most of my concerns are addressed to the cats, as Mary has talked about the dogs. There's one intake room in the main shelter that serves as intake for cats, for storage, and also intake for puppies at many times. The animals are currently housed in these rusty wire kennels in very close quarters that allow diseases to travel among the animals. Since the cats often come in with upper respiratory infections, eye infections, parasites, sometimes ringworm, an animal that comes in relatively healthy is likely to leave the intake room infected by the other cats. We've had chronic problems with ringworm that we think often stem from that intake room. And ringworm is a nightmare in the shelter. It takes 6 weeks to clean it up. And you can't send any animals out to rescue what's going on. For this reason, we're requesting the purchase of some stainless steel kennels that can be properly sanitized and that have solid walls between the enclosure to help halt the spread of disease. And we're also asking for a similar setup for the puppy intake room next door. But I think that funding has already been approved with the building that's for housing dogs. After leaving the intake room, the cats are moved to a small cat shelter that was purchased through the Humane Society with funds solicited by Faye Parrott, who's sitting there on the back row, from the community and from friends of the Humane Society through Facebook. This shelter contains 2 8x12 rooms with a space in between with a sink and storage area. Since we need to separate unaltered males and females so we're not breeding more cats at the shelter, kittens and larger cats for the safety of the little ones, nursing mothers, because often another cat will try to kill little baby cats, cats recovering from surgery. This space is inadequate for the large number of cats that pour into the shelter. So we are requesting that the county erect a catio, which is a screen patio. It's a screen enclosure that will allow the cats to go outside in a protected environment. This would help with overcrowding and should improve health issues by giving cats access to fresh air. They're not always breathing recycled air with all the germs floating around it. The area around this cat shelter needs to be fenced in for the animal safety. The shelter has fallen into some disrepair, and we certainly appreciate the fact that this week the county maintenance people have started working on fixing some of those things that needed fixing. Now, this doesn't involve money, but I think this is a very important issue. On the issue of overcrowding, the shelter needs a policy of temporarily closing its doors to new arrivals when overcrowding reaches a critical point. There are 24 kennels, is that right, for dogs? Should be 2 dogs per kennel. That's 48 animals. 200 and what?
But today we have 136.
136. It's been up over 200
Plenty of time.
times. There are, we have, Douglas told me today was 46 for the total count. By the time the meeting's over, there'll be at least 50 cats. In the small spaces in the shelter and in 3 foster homes and more coming in every day. He told me yesterday that a woman called and wants him to pick up 30 cats from one location. And these are cats that are mostly feral, and so they can't even be adopted or sent out to rescue, which is another matter that needs addressing. We, as a humane society, are willing to spay or neuter these cats in what's called a trap, neuter, release program. The problem is that there's nowhere to release the animals. We provided barn cats to anybody we can beg to take them if you get a cat that's not tame enough to be adopted out to a family or sent to rescue. But we need a feral colony maintained by the county where the cats can be released under an established procedure and where some maintenance level of feeding can be provided. This is the only humane thing to do, as opposed to picking them up from one location and dumping them out unfixed at another location. So somebody else is going to call you to pick up the same cats again, and they're going to continue breeding. Other steps include the purchase of more outdoor kennels for dogs to relieve the severe overcrowding, which especially happens during puppy and kitten season, which is the spring and summer. As Mary told you, there are up to 9 dogs in a kennel out there, it's designed for a maximum of 2 animals. Also, again, she's addressed if you fenced in that area adjacent to the shelter, that would be a way to get some of the animals out of the shelter for exercising and allow for meet and greets with potential adopters without being in that horrible environment of the shelter. We need a stainless steel examination table that can be properly sanitized between animals in a room that the vet uses. If you take your animal to the vet, you know they spray down the table with antiseptic between animals. Right now they're using a little table covered with a towel, and that if you get a dog with mange up there, then the next dog comes along, and then the cat has ringworm, and you can spread all kinds of disease just going to see the vet. These things so far that I've talked about that cost money, the catio, the kennels in the intake room, and that steel table, Winna has worked up a cost proposal, as we had discussed that earlier. I have an additional request that I did not discuss with her, is the purchase of a small stainless steel table for the cat shelter, so some of the vet work can be done out there. Right now, you have to catch a cat, grab it in a kennel. Has anybody had a cat that they've tried to put in a kennel and all 4 paws with claws go out? Then you carry him through the shelter down a nasty hallway full of barking, snarling dogs, and then you have to drag him out of that kennel. And would you want to handle that cat at that point and try to draw blood or something like that? We have a small stainless steel table over there in that middle room in the cat house. We could do the combo testing, administration of some vaccines, and it would be better for everybody involved, and especially cats. We need a standard intake procedure that includes an exam by shelter personnel for obvious issues such as ringworm, mange, eye infection, excess fleas. In addition, a routine procedure of an examination of feces for parasites is needed to ensure that the appropriate dewormer or the medication is given before these parasites spread to other animals. They're routinely giving a mild dewormer to everybody, but it's not appropriate for so many of the parasites that come in. For example, tapeworm and coccidia, which is not a worm but a parasite, needs a different medication. And they need to examine this to make sure they're getting the right medication. So incidences like the dog named Belinda and the horrendous situation there and the attending publicity does not continue to happen. We need a full-time shelter employee supervising cleaning and animal health. And the present staff simply is not adequate to keep these animals healthy. They need to be fed twice a day, and the dog and the cat areas need to be cleaned twice daily. And there simply aren't enough inmates to do it. And the inmates are not supervised adequately. A lot of times the inmates have to go out with Douglas on calls to pick up animals, and there's nobody there except somebody in the front office. Some of these inmates work really hard, they do a good job, but they don't have the training to be primary caregivers for these animals, administering medicine and that sort of thing, and looking for issues to be addressed early. Another thing that I think is needed is help from the county with somebody experienced with grant writing to pursue grants for programs such as a spay-neuter program or a trap-neuter release program. As a humane society, we can't qualify for these grants because we don't actually have any animals. We work with these shelter, but they're not our animals, so we don't qualify. But there's money available for things like that, but I think Douglas would agree with me that they would need help with someone. Grant writing is you have to know the right words to say, and it takes some experience. And I feel sure somebody at the county level could give some help with that. They need to be buying medicines like dewormers directly from the manufacturer to save money and make it more feasible to treat the animals appropriately. Right now, the Humane Society is buying combo tests, which test for feline leukemia and AIDS. It costs us approximately $14 for every cat out there, but it costs $38 at the vet's office. And as a 501c3 organization, we can get them cheaper, actually, I think, than the vet can. But the county there are some ways that the county can get medicines that same way. And any of them that need a 501c3 designation, that we'd be glad to partner on that. But we don't need to be buying doses of medicine from the vet at their prices. We could treat so many more animals. I realize that these proposals are going to cost a lot of money. But implementation of these ideas should pay big dividends down the road in improved animal health and in lower costs over the long run. It's a whole lot cheaper to prevent disease than it is to treat disease. Our small organization has spent approximately $26,000 in the past 12 months for vet bills for shelter animals, for expenses that are associated with animal rescue, mostly cats, since our rescue partners for cats are small, all-volunteer groups that don't pay pool fees. With the dogs, usually they're dealing with bigger organizations that will pay a pool fee or at least provide some of the medications and the transport. We're having to pay transport expenses, and our partners are in New Hampshire and Maine and places like that. They're wonderful groups, and they're pulling huge numbers of cats, but it costs us a lot of money. We test for the combo test for the feline leukemia AIDS, which I said is approximately $14 per animal. We're paying for rabies shots, we're paying for the health certificates that are moved across the state lines, and for the transportation, which involves renting a cargo van, paying somebody to drive, and gas, and such going back and forth. And we're going broke doing it. As I said, we have 12 members, and so we don't have a lot of money. We've also paid for medicines for a huge heartworm outbreak at the shelter, and we also pay for regular shelter expenses like food and litter and supplies when we see the need. We had a $12,000 donation from a very generous donor that we will not be able to get money from anymore. That's a one-time thing, and that's what's paid for these, that's why we were able to spend $26,000. That was a one-time thing that's not gonna happen again. Our funds are limited, but we want to continue to partner with the county to improve the lives of the animals in the county's care and to improve the reputation of Dillon County. Our economic development director there, I imagine he doesn't really like to see a firestorm of negative publicity about Dillon County on Facebook. You know, animal lovers are prospective businesses have a lot of animal lovers in them, and I don't imagine it makes his job any easier when you see horrendous things said about Dillon County, about the way we treat animals. We've taken a real beating online in the online animal lovers community lately. We need your help and support, and we need the help and support of the citizens of Dillon County. So I'm going to ask you to spend some money for us. And I have a copy of my remarks to make sure you don't forget any of the things I'm asking for. Yeah, it's 2 pages. You didn't think I did all that talking on one page, did you? The second page is voted in the focus. And Willa has done up a cost proposal for the cages and for the catio. And do they have that? Go ahead, play us. Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. McCall, we appreciate your support and information. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I'd like to, it's 13,555, would that pretty well get you out of, I mean, for the employees, we have to put that for the budget and that kind of
That
stuff.
was for those cages, and there's an additional estimate of $3,000 for the catio. That amount for the, that $13,555 would be for the cat cages, I believe, and the one on,
Cat and dog.
oh, okay. And then there was some plumbing and stuff.
So that's not
I'm not sure how much,
cat and
some of this is already budgeted, and I simply don't know. You have to have someone from the county tell you how much is already budgeted.
I can tell.
Douglas knows that.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Mayor, first I want to say, Ms. McDaniel, Ms. McCall, all you that came in to voice your concerns for the animal shelter, I certainly hear your compassion, pretty much feel your heartbeat. Glad that we have people of that sort in Dillon County who will be compassionate for the animals. Again, I commend you. As a county council member as myself, I've been here about 9 years, and I don't mind sharing this with you. I have some issues that when I'm voting on spending money and not knowing where the money's at. I've asked, and some of you probably have seen in the past, some of the media attention that I had on some of the bank statements to actually find out where the money's at. We could have money, I don't know. Why I'm bringing this up is not to shame anyone, but you guys sit in a better position than I do. If I'm asking for documents, the law says I gotta have 4 people. But you guys can send a freedom of information request to your treasurer to find out how much money Dillon County got, or get a copy of your bank statements. I've been trying to get bank statements for years. If I ask for something, I'm told we don't have any money. As a policy maker and as a county council member, in order to make an informed decision, those bank statements are important to me. Every time I ask for them, I don't get them. And when you're talking about spending money, and you got your administrator tells you we don't have the funding, and I don't have no other proof, no more than a generated statement, it puts me in a bad position. I appreciate what you guys have done today, but you guys certainly can take this thing a step further beyond what I can, unless I got 4 votes to support me, to get a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act request, and see what kind of funding that Dillon County has. And then you will see where we're at. You know, if I do it again, I gotta have 4 people, but you guys can do it. And without bank statements proving what we got, it's hard for me to make decisions to spend money. But again, I thank you guys for what you guys have done. Thank you for your presentation. I highly favor it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. McCall. We're certainly gonna look into this right away. We're not gonna drag around, but I feel like something got to be done.
And then we'll do the help from the day.
Clay, can we afford this 13?
Yeah, I think you've already budgeted some of it. I don't
Okay,
know
let's
what
see what
budget you have.
budget.
We got numbers.
I think we'll try to help from some today anyway. Sound like it's
As
urgent.
Ms. McCall had said, the problem is space at the county, at the animal shelter. We have 24 stalls and have 136 dogs. Where can I put them? When they bring them in, I have to take them. Unless someone put an order in saying, don't take them. People call when it's a cat situation. They turn up my underpinning under my house, my air conditioner, my bills shooting up. I got to go out and get them. Have nowhere to put them. So I have to put them in with the rest of them. The only way we're going to solve this problem today, if 5 of the councilors that's here vote to purchase the cages that we need, that's the only way. If not, we're going to be right back where we at. That total is $13,555 for the cages, and for the patio is $3,000. So you're talking $16,555. And hopefully that will solve our problem. That will put,
Temporarily solve the problem.
None of that budgeted already?
Douglas, I know when it started in 2014, how much is that? This is all new. This is all new? This is all new. See, and just like she said, when she went down, you see 4 mama dogs. Okay, that takes away 4 of your cages. You can only put 1 mama with her puppies. So that lessens your cages.
We got a building space to put the cages in.
We have the building, and we working on the fence, putting the fence up now. Everything should be complete by next week as far as the fence. This is for the new building.
Well,
Manpower too.
let's make a motion to help them out with that here today.
Yeah, that's about the manpower too. What about
Yeah,
it?
manpower, he needs help.
Clay, we got anything for man? Can we borrow another person down there?
We're trying to get more inmates, but we both, I mean, I think
That's
that's
probably
worse.
what it is.
He also needs to be able to say, I'll put you on a waiting list when people call and say, I need animals picked up. We are at capacity. Other shelters do that. They close all the time, rather than just piling animals on top of animals and creating that nasty mess down there.
Can I speak on that? Basically, what I hear from that, and I hear you, well, I'll just take them down the road and turn them loose.
They'll be,
That's exactly right. They're better off.
That's what they say. If y'all can't take them, I just turn them down the road and turn them loose. And then you got to go get them. But with this space, we should be able to manage. We should be able. It'll be better than what we have.
With this report we got yesterday from our finance director,
Mhm.
I'm looking at some of the salary line out of different departments and stuff.
Yeah.
We got some that we got $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and we don't have but 1 more pay period to pay them.
Well,
It seems like we might be over budgeted in some departments.
We got 2 departments, we got 2 pay periods left in June, so it's going to be.
Now, this here report was come out June 21st,
Yeah, but this is,
and
I think Richard ran it. Richard, did you run it?
it ran it on, no, it's ran on 21st when it ran.
It's through May 31st. Before you look at it.
Okay, well, just say 2 periods, but I mean, I'm gonna use, the building maintenance. I mean, you got $23,000 extra there. It's, you know, it's just salary. I ain't talking about that. I mean, in your, tax assessor, you got, budget 220, and they use 171. I know we ain't paying those people $50,000 a month.
No, but like I said, we didn't hire the guy in December, so he's already been on since December, so next year's budget, it will be, I mean, if you fund it,
But there's a bunch of that kind of stuff in there.
there's a few of
I'm
them.
kind of like Councilman Scott. I mean, is there any way that we could add some employees? I mean, you tell us if we got the funds or not. I mean, we don't know if we got them or not.
Richard could probably tell more than I could. I mean,
Wait a minute.
I could get him to look at it and see what it is.
That's the reason I've been arguing with you about Richard, because you won't give Richard no access.
Yes.
And if you don't give our finance director access to that kind of stuff, he cannot do it. You know, if you don't give him access. I mean, just like this morning's conversation we had. You said our county treasurer was willing to let Ms. Stackhouse have the access to the credit card. But we've got Mr. Getty as the finance director, and he cannot get access to no financial statements. Now how can, Councilman Scott, how can we sit here and keep on going and let you, because you work for the council, let you keep on not letting Mr. Getty have that information? But you don't give it, you told me this morning, did you not tell me that Jamie was willing to give it?
I had it, Richard, but anyway, on that.
Wait a minute, Clay, did you not tell me this morning that Jamie was willing for Teresa Stackhouse to see it, but not Richard?
I think they've got it worked out, but I mean,
Richard just told, listen to me. Richard just told our clerk of the council yesterday it would be helpful to him to have that information.
I think we've got it worked out.
I think Teresa has it on.
Teresa has it, well, why is he, the finance director can't see it?
We've got both of them, where both of us can look at it. I mean,
Wait a minute, both of you, but why can't the finance director?
He's gonna look at it, that's what's saying, he and I.
Why can't he get it on his computer?
He can. It's not a matter of getting on the computer. It's a matter of pulling it up on the. It's just like any computer. Any computer, I can pull it up. I can pull it. I mean, anybody has a pad.
We do that, just remember, Clay, let me say this, This is why it's important for us council members to have those financial statements, because if we know where the money at, then we can better serve our community. And these people are right, they come here for help.
We won't laugh about it, but
These people come here for help, and they're looking at us as the leaders, you know, to provide certain services, and that's what we're supposed to do. But without the right documents to know where the money at, certainly we can't provide it.
But just a year and a half ago, 4 councilmen had to raise taxes up here, so we don't know what we got. We shouldn't have to do that, go, you know.
You have an audit.
Wait, that's why you said that about the auditor.
Audit report, and you.
I'm glad you brought it, the auditor.
And you have a
Listen to me,
report
Clay.
that does on that too.
That auditor, we all agreed that had sent us a bill for over $10,000 more than it should have. You were supposed to bring it back in front of us, and that's been about 4 or 5 months ago. We ain't seen the auditor, don't make no return calls or nothing else.
Let's see.
I mean, if the auditor's overcharged us, what else are we, I mean.
Well, we got some other problems.
Okay.
We can't solve this today. We need to
Stevie
look
wants
into
to
it.
motion. Yeah, I agree.
Well, we need to go on and,
But he needs to let Richard have that access. Because he promised us last month in our meeting, we get it, Richard.
since you got a motion.
Yeah, what did you say that amount was, that was?
That'd be, the total amount $16,555.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we help you out with it.
A second.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Question.
I want to make sure that the fence for the lot beside the
You
shelter.
already got that.
Okay, good.
Done.
Doug, you got a question?
Yes, sir.
How far down the road would this 16,000 get us? I mean, will we be looking right back in a year or 2 years, looking at the same problem?
We should not, with an average of, I say an average of $150 in there at any given time, we should have adequate space to move them around, that we should not have to come back. And that should help us where they don't get as sick, because they're not piling in on top of one another. We should be able to move them out.
Can I say something? As a volunteer, the fence will help people want to come. Where, in the position I'm in, going in there, I don't mind that it's not clean. But a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to go in there because it's so filthy. I don't want to volunteer because it's so filthy. If it was a cleaner environment, more kind-hearted people would be willing to step in those doors and do some volunteer work. To where people would get the word out, it's worth the dollars.
No, I won't say that.
You can't get any more help from the jail, they done,
I request no more.
We have a problem getting help at all that far.
The inmates in the jail, where like they do with some of these other people, when you go to ask for an inmate, he don't feel like working, he don't come.
No, I don't have
I
that
know
problem.
someone picking up trash, some days they'll go there and there'll be 5 or 6 ready to go, and the next day somebody's,
No.
you got to go.
I have 2 state guys that come every
The
day.
state guys, okay.
Mr. Chairman, when do you think we can have that workshop for the budget that we try to talk about employees?
It's separate with July 4th.
Second of July, okay.
We have to July 4th.
Ms. McCall and Ms. McDaniel, thank y'all for coming, and it's good to see you again.
Now, did y'all vote?
We got
Okay, want to make sure. Okay. Thank you very much.
down to, drive 3 hams into Ron Crawford, Newtown cleanup.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ron Crawford. I'm with the Citizens of Newtown and for the Newtown cleanup. I graduated back in '68. I brought this up one time before, but everything stopping at Mullins Highway, not going across that road. And y'all are pitted
Thank you for coming, Ms. Linda.
and then turn it loose. Then nothing still goes over there. You got a park down there that needs cleaning. We've been trying to get trash picked up, cleaned up. Our committee, our members, our citizens down there, we were down there a week before last. Everything was set up, but there was nobody to pick up the trash. All right, I called Robin, and he said he's been trying to get hold of Mr. Young about a truck and a backhoe to pick up stuff, and couldn't get in touch with him. I couldn't get in touch with him. That's the number he gave me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know who's supposed to be doing it, but it needs to be done. Now, we're willing to get out there and walk in the heat. We pay taxes on every machine that you run through here. Police ride up down the road, taking children to school, going to grocery shopping, going to church, or anything else they want to do. We pay for the gas. We pay taxes too, down there in Newtown. We have to come up here, pay taxes, or send in the mail. All right? D-head, burning trash. We got people down there burning trash. I thought about fining them because a lot of them burn tires and anything else. But you got to go all the way. The guy got to come all the way from Florence over here. By the time he gets here, the evidence is gone. There's got to be somebody over here in Dillon. The guy told me, he called the other day, said that he called the fire department, they somebody's going to charge him to come out. I ain't never heard of that. He never heard what they told me. I said, well, I'll say something about it. Now, this is the 3rd meeting I've been to. The last time I was in here, Macy was on the board. You got something here about, I don't know what happened to the rest of it, about landowners, property owners, landlords, and all that, cleaning up their place, keeping places clean. Mice, roaches, rats running into your house out of the fields and vines and stuff. Cars and mess parked on the lots when they should be trying to make people get them off. Now, I've come up here to try and talk like somebody. I'll be blunt. I don't care. You know, but you say what you want to say, and a lot of it's misdirection and deception. And I say that because everything I've seen since I started coming back up here is just like the government, just like up the staff. I've been fighting for 22 years, trying to get my service connected benefits. They sent me supposed medical records blacked out, like all the double spies or something, because they don't want to pay, don't want to treat a human being like a human being. I heard this lady talking about the animals. How do you think we feel across Mountain Highway? You promise us this, you say this, the finger gets pointed to everybody that's on the board. They supposed to do that. They got that. You need to talk to them. Go to them, they point the gun.
if one of y'all would come to me like a man and tell me what the heck's going on up here, I would bow down. Because I don't, like I said, nothing but misdirection and deception. And I am so sick. People take care, battle against animals, but you know what? People take better care of animals than they do across that road there. I'm 66 years old. A lot of this mess that goes on up here is passed down from hundreds of years ago. Keep them in their place. Don't do that. Threaten them. Show them this and give them that. It don't make no so-and-so sense. And I'm not gonna curse. No. I got enough of me not to do that. But I'm saying fed up. People sitting on their butt. See mess going on. And we'll sit up here every 4 o'clock when you're supposed to. And time I walk out of here, or we walk out of here, there'll be another discussion. I can't positively say that, but from what happens, yeah, there's another discussion. What needs to be done? All these Christians treat man fair, pledge allegiance and pray, and still do nothing. I said to everybody in here, everybody in here, we all guilty. I get mad, yeah, I'm mad with y'all right now. Because I've seen it go on too long. I should have been coming up with it. And I'm looking for somebody to come at me stupid. What I'm saying is, I'm fed up with it. If y'all don't believe me, okay, that's Mr. Young. Let me ask you a question. Are you over this machinery pickup, trash pickup?
Well, the sheriff's department's got,
Are you the administrator?
Well, me and the sheriff work together on it.
Well, the sheriff, I ain't counting on him for nothing.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been to him face to face right across the Dillon bridge.
Equipment we got, the front end loaders, would that be under your category?
Yeah, roads and bridges, but that doesn't have.
That's what he
anything to do
needs.
with it.
Yeah, because we got down there and walked in that heat all Saturday morning. And got there last minute. And nobody to pick up the trash. Somebody told me to call Coward.
Tell me what you gonna want Coward did for you.
Oh, we got it. Call his son to come get it. There it is. I can't put him out on that.
Yeah. Our other attorney has told me numerous times that we can clean the right of way. I have been arguing, begging, everything else to get the right of way cut. We need to take the front end loaders that Dillon County has and those dump trucks and go down through that area and clean it up real good.
Alright. We need to find out who can be responsible over here in Dillon about this trash burning. See, there's a time to burn and a time not to burn. You got, I forgot the code, I think it's red, orange, or something.
Clay, would you be willing to contact Steve Moody? As your caller, would you be willing to ask Steve Moody to clean the right of ways in Newtown?
Now, you got some private property down there that people
So
want.
you saying county council need to vote on it?
They need to vote on, make a policy, to establish a policy.
Oh, yeah, because this,
I mean, that's.
I want y'all to look at this too.
Okay.
Get this together. This thing's been tabled, the last time it was tabled was in 2008. About the property owners cleaning up their mess. And I'm shooting in the blind because that's all I could get. Now, Mayfield's name is on there, so you know how long it's been.
Archie, I think that was the one I proposed back in 2008 before I left.
That was passed.
Yeah, but it's been tabled 8 times
No, that happened.
and forgot.
So that was one, it was passed.
It was passed.
You said it was passed.
Yeah, that was passed. That was a little control that I gave you that was passed, but the other stuff that you talked to Larry Jones about, you said that was, they told me that was not passed. That they
Right,
did not have
that's
to
what I'm
turn
talking
it
about, yeah.
But what you gave him, that was passed.
Yeah, but those are the names that I saw on that.
Right.
You ready for it? Okay, okay.
Alan, you wanna look at that?
I'll be one to drive you up. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to get everything said, 'cause I got choir rehearsal. Trying to save my voice. No, we just,
Mr. Crawford,
yes,
would it help you if the council would vote today to come in there and everything's on the right of way, help get it cleaned up with the and stuff? Would that help you?
we got a park down there that needs cleaning up.
Would that-
Grass cut and all that, yeah, vote on it,
Okay.
vote on it.
And then once this is kind of a one-time deal we're gonna do, and then we'll get a policy, and they say they need to put a policy in place.
I would love to say,
When the county, they gonna have a.
Yeah, cleanup day, yeah.
Then you, because,
Yeah.
so you can't just put a policy.
Mr. Taylor, are we in line with what we discussed?
now, my agenda was nothing to do with what y'all talking about. This is about Newtown, period. Getting cleaned up, because every time we get down there, volunteer people out in the community, get out there and march up down there in the heat this time, and do something. We pay taxes, like I said, police ride up and down, officials shoot, but then when you ride them down the road all day, burning gas, we pay taxes just like anybody else. And why we came for a weekend, couple of hours, get somebody down there?
If it's on the right of way, it's our responsibility to clean it anyway. Or cleaning the right of ways.
Well, you got some
on the
people,
right of way.
you got some people with private property, who want their property clean.
The state does in them county roads down there.
Yeah.
Them county roads.
You got one street right down one highway, this city.
What was your question, Councilman Calvin? You got a question?
For what now? Can we do a one-time? Well, I think we can clean, according to Ken DeBoe now, that he says you can clean the right of way.
Yeah.
Even if it's state or the county. You know what I'm saying? According to Ken DeBoe.
If you do it, you cannot single out a certain area. You're gonna have to do it countywide.
Well,
And it's gonna be, policy until the
taxes are
policy
paid for that.
changes.
Until the policy change, okay.
And I don't know that you'll ever be able to change that policy.
Well, we need to try to put something in place.
There's 7 people up there, there's 7 people up there.
I'm
And you got 4, you got 3, 1, 2, 3, sitting right there. There's
gonna
7
put a motion on the floor right now that we start cleaning the right of ways if they need it.
and the park.
And what a part we supposed to do that anyway.
Cut the grass without, it hasn't been getting done, like it's supposed to. Now Randy's done it.
Mr. Attorney, do we have anything binding right now that will allow us to clean the right of way? Is there anything binding? Is that policy then?
That's the litter control, that's for fines.
We don't have nothing binding. Probably what we need to do is send this to a committee, and until we get something binding in writing, come back and pass it.
I think that would be wise, Councilman Scott.
And then we'll be fine. Not that we don't want to help you, Mr. Clark, I certainly understand you, and I sympathize with you. But here's the problem, what we facing. At one time, there were some things that might have been done that might have not been right. So we got, listen now, we've heard you. We got to go back to the table, and we got to put a policy together that will, and we're not telling you no, but that will allow us to clean that right away. So let us put this in a committee, and we'll definitely.
Councilman Scott,
Yes, sir.
can we, within 2 weeks, give him an answer?
We can
Will
meet
that be
next
somewhere
week.
maybe in
We can
May?
meet next week and try to get with our attorney and get us a policy together in place and make sure it's binding and it's legal, and then we can help you on those problems. That all right with you?
Yeah,
All right. All right, sir.
I'm fair with that. As long as we get it done, you know.
alright, I appreciate it, I got to go. Oh, give me my paperwork, sir.
Mr. Attorney has it. But thank you though, Mr. Crawford, for your presentation.
thank you.
Yes, sir. We appreciate it.
Y'all have a good day.
We're down number 5.
Mr. Chairman, there was a motion, but there was no second, so I believe that motion is
I
down.
withdraw that motion. That'd be good. Just wanted to get past, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, we're down to 5D, recreation.
Okay, we have, Stevie Rice is wanting to give the Rotary Club, Lions Club, Kiwanis Club, Criterion Club, Howard Club, $75 out of his recreation, Cooks for Christ, Neighbors Helping Neighbors, Floridale Ladies Auxiliary, $100 each, and Floridale Fire Department, $200 out of his recreation. Okay, and then Archie Scott would like to give $50 to Ark of Safety House of Prayer Summer Youth, to help with their summer youth events and trips.
Archie Scott would like to give $50 to New St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church to help with their fund of recreation for the youth of their church. Okay, and New St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church, Archie Scott would like to give to help fund the back to school bash. The Fort Chapel Baptist Church of Lakeview Man in Black program, Archie has given $50 to them to help support them. And Archie is giving $50 out of his recreation to Nancy Hargrove from First Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. She is running for Homecoming Queen.
I get 50.
I give $50. And then Bobby Moody would like for $250 to come out of his recreation to the Lakeview Fire Department Station Number 3. He would like to give this is Bobby Moody, $250 to the Junior American Legion baseball team to help them with their expenses of hats, games, officials, and baseballs, and uniforms and stuff for the team. He would like to give $200 to the annual Gator Golf Tournament, which is this Saturday, June 25th. Robbie Coward would like to give out of his recreation $100 to Diamondback 04, Diamondback 05, and Diamondback 06, Cooks for Christ, Neighbors Helping Neighbors, Lions Club, Dixie Chicks, Dixie Divas, Backwings, DC Outbreaks, DC Theater, Kiwanis, Dillon County 4-H Gun Club, Latta Lightning. He's giving $100 out for each one of those, and $200 to the Pilot Club of Dillon.
Let me see. I got what, 250 left? And I had 250 to give it to the Dillon County Boys and Girls Club. And we're gonna wipe it all the way out. I was trying to think of the clubs that need it.
$45, $40. Whatever it is. Give to the boys and girls.
You want to give 45 to them?
Whatever.
And then Harold Moody he wants to pay the rest of his, or the balance of his recreation to Fire Department Station Number 4. It's $1,225. And that's all I have.
That's everything. Do we have a motion to approve the recreation report?
I made a motion, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
I got a question I want to ask. Now, time to ask. Mr. Young, I'm not against the way Mr. Moody who he gave his money to. But did you write a check and already give it out before we vote on it here today?
That's the way we've always done, man.
Wait a minute.
That's the way we've always done all of it.
So you're gonna give all these recreations out?
The ones that come in here earlier.
But is that the right way to do it?
We've never had a policy. I would like to see us, if we do anything, we have a policy to establish, if y'all want to establish one.
I mean, I'm not against what's doing it,
I
but
don't really care. It doesn't
let's
really matter.
tell me this. If we're gonna be that way, from this point on, if Stevie Rice walks in here and wants his money, or Robbie Tower, or Mr. James, or Mr. Gold, anybody wants their money,
We can wait.
wait a minute. No, give it to them.
Oh, give it to them, okay.
Is that what I'm saying is? Give it to them. I was gonna say give it to them. That's, if we can do that legally.
That's been our
But
policy.
I'm gonna ask our attorney, let him tell you.
We discussed it after I talked to you about it, and I understand that it's been done both ways,
Yeah,
which
I understand.
is may or may not be correct. The way I think it should be done is brought before the county council.
Well, council, okay, that's why I had to understand it.
And I think that needs to be addressed by setting a policy that says that, and then we can abide by it going forward. But what I think you may want to do, maybe the budget committee, just talk about that, present something, present something.
Chad, will you make a motion?
I want to make sure we're clear.
Okay, we're going by the 8C, first reading, and orders approving the grant by Dillon County, South Carolina, the county of certain special source revenue credits to a company known to the county as Project Pineapple Palace, the company, pursuant to provisions of section 4-1-175 of the Code of Laws of South Carolina 1976 as amended, authorizing the execution and delivery of an infrastructure financing agreement between the county and the company, providing for the inclusion of the project in a joint county business or industrial park, authorizing the execution and delivery of any and all other necessary agreements with the company to effect the intent of this ordinance and other matters related to its foregoing. We have a motion.
1 minute, sir, before you make that motion. Mr. Attorney, please correct me if you will. Grant, sir, should that be stating that that is a tax incentive?
No, I think I understand your question. I think the use of that word there perhaps is misleading. That does not mean a grant of money. It means the granting of the credits, the giving of the credits.
We made a motion.
I'd like to make a motion, pass the first reading, Project Pineapple, then that, or Pineapple Palace. And in that motion, we do not do nothing, we give them a tax incentive.
Special
source revenue.
Special source revenue. That's the only thing we agree to. If anything changes, I want that motion to be favorable.
Second.
Second.
Yes, sir.
Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. And we have a motion to adjourn.
Don't move.
Second.
Thank you, Chairman.
All in favor?
So their recommendation on what that policy should be, that'll give you some more time to think about it and make sure that is what you want to do. But I do think that probably is the best way.
I'm not against it, I just, we need to do it, we need to feed everybody at the same spoon.
I agree with you. I'd rather make it a policy of the budget
I'm
ordinance.
not against it.
That way, every budget ordinance, you can look at it and revise it. If you need, you revise it. Make it a written part of the budget ordinance.
Okay.
That's what I would
Let's
recommend.
put something in place that we won't have confusion,
I'll be glad to do that for you. Be happy to.
Okay, we got a motion made by Mr. Scott, there's a second, to approve the recommendation.
I second.
Okay, it's been second. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. We're down to number 6 now, finance report.
This as of the end of May, we currently got 1,379,770,000 more revenues than expenses. That's a little bit skewed as we've gotten in our general obligation money and equipment lease purchase money. We hadn't really completed all our purchases.
How much would that be, Mr. Getty? How much we borrowed, how much of that 1.3 have we borrowed there? How much of that's borrowed money you said you put in, equipment lease money, that kind of stuff?
Combination of two is $2,150,000.
But out of the 1.3, you said we was over, but ain't we just borrowed some money? You said we got our money in, our borrowed money. The lease purchase and stuff?
Yeah, both.
How much is that?
That's all that's in there.
I'm saying, how much would that, if we took that away, how much would we have roughly? If we took that, what we borrowed?
It'll be about $800,000.
Okay.
Anybody got any more questions about that, Chris? Appreciate your report, Chris. We're down number 7, committee report. Any committee report?
The Public Safety Committee met, we didn't come up with any final conclusions. We were going to let them meet with the full council. I think at the workshop meeting with the fire department's my understanding.
Okay, then number 8 now, ordinance reading. First reading, an ordinance by Dillon County Council to amend the official zoning map of Dillon County to the zoning parcel of land known as tax map number 110-00-109, 110 parcel 049, and 110 parcel 072 from a general commercial DC district to rural RU district. This requires a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I have Mr. Jones back there, who is our planning and zoning code enforcement person, and he's got a, Larry, you want to say anything? I think it's just a change from GC rules.
On the zoning map change, Mr. Clark Phillips, approached us and offered to carry before the planning commission. district outside of Lakeville with 41. At one time, there was a restaurant out there, and he ran a body shop out there. And he's had some things happen in his life. He knows that he's disabled now, and he wants to turn his shop into a residence. And of course, he couldn't do that in the general commercial district as he wanted to do. The restaurant now is a church. So what he did, I told him, that I couldn't change or go for the planning commission and change it without the other people having property that's going to be affected to be on board with the change. So he approached them, and it's not going to affect them as a church community or anything to change it from general commercial to residential, to rural. So we had a letter in hand. We posted the property, had a public hearing on it also, by the way. And the planning commission recommended we change this. And the reason why we needed everybody to be on board is a small district, and you got to have a minimum of 2 acres to have a standalone district. And removing his from that district would have less than the 2 acres that would be required by the zoning ordinance. So we need to change the whole thing. Anyway, they were on board with it. They gave us a letter of acceptance that they'd be more than happy to do with it, since it wasn't going to change how they operated anyway. So planning commission heard recommendations from Mr. Phillip, and they brought it before council to change that general commercial to rural.
Thank you, Phil, for the explanation. If we have a motion to have the first reading of the ordinance,
I'll second.
Robert second. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. We're down 8B, first reading. An ordinance by Dillon County Council amending zoning ordinance to add number 18, solar farms.
Okay, here again, we've had a influx of calls over the past 8 to 10 months with people wanting to bring solar farms into the county. Whether or not they're going to do this, I don't know, but they've had some pretty serious inquiries and in different locations. And as an interpretation of the zone, we were kind of looking at this as electrical substation, and it's really not enough to give enough information to anybody who really wants it, is serious about putting a system in, because it's just too vague. And so we did a little research. The states around us and some places in the South Carolina who had an ordinance about solar farms, and we carried it before the planning commission. We discussed a number of things there, and if they're going to come, the 2 places that would be allowed technically under the ordinance now, was part of it could be general commercial, part of it rural. And we felt like the solar farms should be primarily in a rural district, and have some type of stipulations in place as to what we would expect of them as a county to protect our citizens from certain glares and some noise that may come from it. And so they put together this ordinance that you have before you, as far as changing the text in the ordinance to be suitable for solar farms.
We have a motion,
Larry, we have a motion
to add item number 18, solar farms, first reading.
Can I make a motion? Go ahead.
You make a motion.
Yes, sir.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any more discussion?
Larry, just like I have on 34, going out towards the interstate. That mean they wouldn't be able to put a solar farm out there on the left?
No, what it means is any primary highway, anything, you have to be 100 feet off the road.
Have to be 100 feet off the road?
Correct.
Okay.
You want to eliminate it.
They want to eliminate some, somebody might could use it.
No, we want to eliminate it, but with the primary highways in the state, sometimes depending on what type of material they're using, sometimes it throws a glare. They want to try to keep that stuff at least 100 foot off the primary highway.
The reason I asked you, the guy I've been talking to, full council about that, and I didn't want to go there and create a positive and block him.
No.
And just, out there hanging, just going out there.
We've had locations scattered about the community they talk about.
All right.
Okay, we got being second. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, we're on C now, first reading. County, South Carolina, the county with certain special source revenue credits to the company known to the county as Project Pineapple Palace. The company pursuant to provisions of section 4-1-175 of the Code Law of South Carolina, 1976, as amended, authorizing the execution of the delivery of infrastructure financing agreement between the county and the company, providing for the inclusion of the project in a joint county business or industrial park, authorizing the execution and delivery of any and all other necessary agreements with the company to effect the intent of this ordinance and other matters related to the foregoing.
Mr. Chairman, you ready for a motion?
What's that?
You ready for a motion?
Yeah, we have a motion.
I want to make a motion that we table this until full council can get all the numbers and know exactly what we're voting on. Because right now, we're voting for the first reading, and we're voting in the dark county. I want to put a motion that we table this until we can get a copy of the contract to show it.
Councilman Callaway, Mr. Chairman, if I could say something?
Yeah.
If we can go into executive session, I have those numbers today, Councilman Callaway.
You got the numbers?
I do.
As long as you got the numbers, well, can we put it on the end, go in executive session, talk about it, then?
I have the numbers with me.
It's already there on the agenda, if you want to go in executive session. Talk
It's on the agenda for the numbers?
For executive
Just
session,
executive
Pineapple
session.
Oh,
Palace.
I thought you meant the numbers on it.
So you want to take action, Mr. Kelly, after the executive session, you said? You want to take action
Yeah,
after the
yeah, we need to take action.
He said he want to take action after the executive session. So we want to table that to after the executive session?
Right.
Yeah.
He wants to take action after the executive
Can
session.
we put it on there?
We already got it on there.
Already on there.
It's already on there, it's already on there.
Okay.
It's got you on there.
So we're going to move after the executive session.
I just didn't want to vote on it and then not know what's going on with it.
Okay, that's all right. We'll just, defer that after the executive session. Okay, let's see. Okay, D, emergency ordinance providing essential services 2016-2017 budget. We didn't pass the budget, so we're gonna have to have an emergency in order to be able to pay our county employees. We hope to get a
Mr.
budget.
Barry. Is there a term time on that and we have to have it passed? I mean, by operating that way?
It'll be good, according to the ordinances here dealing with emergency ordinances, 60 days.
60 days.
So if you
So
don't
in
do
60 days, we'll have to come up with a budget.
Yes.
If not, we can redo it, right?
That's true. That's true.
I make a motion that we,
Okay, let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Second line.
I say.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand.
I don't think any report, we will be in trouble.
Okay, we're down number 9 now, appointments. Dillon County Court of Zoning and Appeal, District 1.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't have any.
Okay, District 6, Robert Calvert, that's right.
Mr. Finke, I'm appointing your best friend, Dr. Linda Hayes. Our clerk of council called her this morning, she said she would take it.
That's good.
She's your best friend.
We have a motion,
I'll make that motion that we appoint.
second. Second. Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, we now, B-Now PD Workforce Investment Board reappointment. James Roberts replacing Dean Page.
I'll make that motion.
Everybody makes a motion to replace, James Roberts replace Dean Page as second.
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, now, we're going into executive session, Project Pineapple.